Ever notice how money and relationships can be a super touchy combo? Like way more complex than figuring out who pays for takeout.
Absolutely, yeah.
You've brought us some really interesting stuff on handling arguments about money and relationships.
hmm
Let's dive in.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
These tips offer a great framework for navigating what can be a real minefield for couples.
Yeah.
It's not just about the dollars, it's about shared values,
hmm
goals,
Yeah.
and visions for the future.
The first thing that really jumped out at me from what you sent over was the emphasis on open communication.
Yeah.
Like it seems almost too simple,
Right.
but the article stresses it's the foundation
Yeah.
for everything.
Mhm.
What are some common roadblocks couples hit when they're just trying to talk about finances? How can they even start to break those barriers down?
You're right. It sounds simple.
Right.
Open communication,
Right.
but it's where so many couples stumble.
Yeah.
Money often comes with baggage,
Okay.
unspoken expectations, anxieties that we've picked up along the way.
Yeah.
And we might not even realize we're carrying those anxieties until we're in a disagreement with a partner.
Oh, interesting.
So step one is really understanding each other's money stories.
What does that mean exactly? Money stories.
Yeah, so it's about talking about your experiences with money growing up.
Okay.
Did you experience scarcity? Were you taught that talking about money is taboo?
Interesting.
What does financial security mean to you personally?
Okay.
Sharing those stories builds a foundation of understanding and empathy.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Once you've kind of started that dialogue, I feel like the next hurdle, according to this, is tackling the dreaded D word,
Right.
budgeting.
Yeah, budgeting.
It can feel like a chore even for individuals, let alone couples.
Budgeting's the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fun.
So how can couples approach it together in a way that fosters collaboration instead of resentment?
Absolutely. And I think a good way to think about it is instead of listing out expenses, which can feel very limiting,
Right.
try discussing a shared dream, like a home renovation or a dream vacation,
Okay.
and then work backward budgeting collaboratively to achieve that goal.
Okay.
So framing it as us versus the goal instead of me versus you
Oh, I like that.
can be incredibly powerful.
So it's like that old saying, teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And speaking of teamwork, I think that leads us to setting shared financial goals,
Okay.
which again sounds very straightforward in theory.
Right. Sounds easy enough.
But what happens when partners have different timelines or comfort levels with risk?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like one
Okay.
person might be gung-ho about investing, while the other prefers a more conservative approach.
It's easy to say, let's plan for the future. But what happens when your visions for that future don't quite align?
Absolutely. And this is where respecting individual spending differences, I think, becomes really crucial.
Okay.
It's about finding compromises, right?
Right.
So maybe one person gets more leeway on fund money each month, while the other contributes more heavily to a shared investment account. One strategy that I've seen be really helpful is this investment bucket approach,
Interesting.
where a portion of shared funds is allocated according to each person's risk tolerance.
I love that. It acknowledges and respects those differences while still working towards that shared vision for the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remembering, it's not just about dividing things 50-50.
Yeah.
It's about understanding and accommodating individual needs and preferences
Right.
within the context of shared financial responsibility.
Yeah, we've talked about open communication, setting shared goals, respecting differences.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot to juggle.
Yeah.
How can couples keep these things in mind without dwelling on past disagreements?
Oh, yeah.
You know, those, well, you did this 2 years ago moments.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And I think, past experiences are really invaluable for learning and growth, right?
Right.
But they shouldn't be used as weapons.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's about recognizing patterns and
Yeah.
choosing to break unhealthy cycles together.
Right.
Right. So maybe a past argument taught you to be more transparent about a certain type of spending,
Oh, that's good.
or maybe it highlighted the need for regular financial check-ins.
Yeah.
The key is to use those experiences constructively, not punitively.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how these seemingly simple shifts in perspective can make such a big difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And remember, financial harmony in a relationship is a journey, not a destination.
Ooh, I like that.
It requires ongoing effort, understanding, and a willingness to adapt together.
So true. Now, for all of you listening, think about your own relationships.
Yeah.
What's one small step you can take today towards better financial communication with your partner? Until next time on The Deep Dive.
See you next time.